Okay, so this is another St. Augustine painting. We have the moon right up here in the sky. We're going to have a horizon that's about 1/3 of the way up there. And try to get that a little straighter this time. I have such a hard time with horizons, it's ridiculous. And we're going to put a lot of paint on today and just be very expressionistic. I was actually chatting with my son while I was painting this painting. So I sort of took out the voice, and I'll just do a voice over and tell you what I'm doing if it's not self-explanatory. Sometimes I have absolutely no rhyme or reason why I do my painting the way I do. It's kind of intuitive. I wanted the yellow in here, and I surrounded it with some red in the hopes of when I put the blue in, it wouldn't look too green in the sky. And it is getting a little green, which is okay. The red is saving me a little bit. This was a sundown picture. And what was actually up in that sky there was the moon. I have an awful lot of photos of it. I just couldn't get past the luck of being right there on the beach during the full moon. The reflection on the sand was incredible. I have so many different photos. I just really had a hard time choosing which one to paint because they're all so beautiful. So those are actually the darkened waves as the water crests over the top of it, the shadow that is thrown. So I'm putting those darks in first. Some of the colors in this are exaggerated just because that's the way I wanted to paint this. It's a good idea once in a while to use some creativity, not try to copy exactly what you see, just enjoy yourself, because everyone tries to paint loosely and they just can't figure out how. Well, this is how. Just have some fun. Pretend nobody's ever going to see it, and it's just something that you're doing for yourself. It's okay to mess it up, to make mistakes. Just play like a child. If you want to get out there and paint exactly what you see, that is absolutely fine. But in order to have an exercise in loosening up, just use a little bit of license and mess around with it a bit. It will help you even when you're out there actually doing an exact replica of what you see. You'll find that you can loosen up a little bit because you're not afraid here to just play. So now you see how those shadows have come into play, where the white wave is cresting and the darkness underneath the wave is showing. Everything has a shadow, even a little wave. There's more shadow right there, underneath that small wave. For a lot of this, I didn't even look at my reference photo. Some fun thing that I like to do is go into my Procreate program, drag my photo into it, adjust the colors the way I like them. In this case, these two darkened waves in the back wave there, I moved them a little closer together than they actually were because it looked like bookends. One was on each side of the painting, and I needed them to be a little bit less symmetrical and a little closer together. I mean, I stood out there and the waves broke 100 times, so exactly putting them in the way you see them is not necessary. Do what makes your painting look right. It's a wave. It's constantly moving and changing. I loved the green of the water, but it was very strange. The sand was a golden reddish color. And as you see it through the more shallow water there, I've turned it into more of the sand color. St. Augustine Beach was not like the beaches here in Clearwater and St. Petersburg, which are very white sand. The St. Augustine sand was sort of a reddish, almost burnt sienna color. There's little squiggles and things all over the beach. Little foamy waves. Little dark spots and light spots. Divots in the sand. Nothing needs to be exact. You see how important that little shadow is. And then the actual sand is kind of reflecting some of the light. So there's darks and lights there. I sat on this beach all by myself for a couple of hours and just contemplated life. It was a lot of fun watching the sun go down. So there it is. Pretty chunky paint. I really enjoyed doing this. Just an exercise in loosening up and enjoying myself. And that's what it's all about with art.